Hey guys, welcome back to the Tough Love Podcast with Dr. John O'Connor. Today's podcast is New Year Evolution. And what does that mean? I don't think I'm the type of person that looks at things like mistakes, because God knows if that was the case, I probably wouldn't get out of bed. But this year, 2025, is about transformation. And whether you say, evolve, evolution, whatever you want to look at it as. But I am beyond excited to have had the epiphany that I've had in this last few weeks with regards to what I want to do with my life, my career, how I am seen in the world, what I do, and really looking forward to going on that journey. And something about that really resonated with me watching and listening to a lot of the coaches that I find to be inspiring, and spending most of my adult and adolescent life, staring at the TV or reading books or being on the court, listening to mentors and coaches. I realized that that's what I am. That's the space I exist in. And quite frankly, the happiest and the most successful points in my life were when I was doing that the most. And I said, you know what? If I go from 50 to 80 or whatever it looks like, I want to be a coach, a mentor, an inspiration to people to want more, do more, and be the vehicle that helps them to get there. And, as we close out 2024, and God knows it was a tumultuous year from business to personal to, family, the hardships that my parents are going through, with my mom battling breast cancer and my father's journey with COPD and the emphysema he's struggling with. It's really given me perspective and insight on what I want my fifth decade and sixth and seventh and beyond to look like. And the one thing that I saw is that I've been working with practices all over the country the last couple months, and I've been beyond, enjoying that. I didn't think it was something that I would want to take part in, but I love it. I love watching these practices, these doctors thrive, and they're like my athletes. It was like me being back on the basketball court, and I'm demanding, I'm intense. I can bring the same level of intensity without, putting on my old doc combat outfit. But now I'm just saturated in ALO and working with these practices. But again, it's something that inspires me, and something, quite frankly, that I love to do. And I think that's something that I think all of us need to take a slow and close look in the mirror and say, am I doing what I love? Am I happy? Am I settling, or can I do more? And I think the one thing that I saw was, if I looked at what I did from 40 to 50, I would say I was growing and expanding and opening practices to keep up with everybody else. And because most of those everybody else's weren't practicing and I dominated them, they were businessmen that were dominating me on that front. And I wasn't even thinking about that. And so where I look at where I am now, I'm like, 3 letters, EGO, ego. And they actually, kept me away from achieving probably the ultimate success, because I was chasing what other people were doing instead of thinking about what was best for me. And I think as I look towards the future and what 2025 brings, I'm beyond excited to go into it with the relationship I have with MedRay Laser and Technology, Velocity HP Coaching, our ties with Velocity Performance in Monmouth County and Velocity Wellness Institute with our medical alliance there. And, 2025 brings something with a new county and a new business that I got pulled into. And I'm beyond excited to be, up north helping that practice grow, especially with me starting in this fitness space at the young age of 50, but I want to be inspiration to anybody looking to say, I'm too old to change my career. I'm too old to compete. I'm too old to do something. I'm like, bullshit. You're maybe too lazy. You're too soft, but you're not too old. I see people every day, and, I think they get blown away when as direct as I am, like, how old are you? And a guy will be like 56, or the lady will be like 57 and look amazing. And I'm like, what's your end game? They're like, I run sprints every day. I'm lifting heavy, blah, 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 blah. And, I'm a corporate attorney, mother of 3, father of 5, whatever it is. And I'm thinking to myself, that type of person gets it. And it's not just about how they look. It's the fact that they don't sacrifice themselves along the way. And I think right now is a transitional part for my family as my kids, I have one that's going to be 20 this year. I can't even believe that's happening. And I have an 18-year-old that's going to be 19 in August. And I think one of the things that I think about is like, now I have more time to chase dreams again. And, it's kind of cliche. I don't want to chase anything. I want to run it down. And I want to master it. I want to conquer it. I want to be the best I can be at it. And that's why I spend so much time listening and emulating and trying to just, burn it into my frontal lobe. A lot of these expert coaches and consultants out there, what they do, because they're doing it at such a high level. And I think any of people that are, my age in the 40, 50, 60 range, there were, athletes, whether it was Michael Jordan or, Akeem Olajuwon, or runners or baseball players, or, you try to replicate their swing, their shot, their signature move. And, I'm looking at these business people, and now to steal a line from, Ed Milet, as a business athlete, I want to replicate the success that these people are doing and have my own version of it in my own, demographic and population. And to me, I listen to these people, and I'm so impressed that they're able to, make time to go out there. And yes, they're making and getting paid for it, but they should be. If you're super successful in your space and you make the time to go out to the world and share your views, your opinions, your ideas of what set you apart. And even the biggest part is, one thing that I notice all the time on my podcast is I try to learn how to touch more people and reach more people. The more real I am and the more human I am, that you share that you fail, that you struggle with things, that you have to make a list. Like for me, probably the biggest thing, and I think people that know me that are in the area, I'm an intense dude. I'm not always the friendliest, and one thing that was crazy over the last 3 or 4 years when I got hurt was, a 4-letter word that started with an F, and it wasn't the fun one. It was fear. And, I would say that tore me apart, because it was one of those things that I'd be thinking about the what if, what could happen, what could go wrong versus what could go right. And I think one of the biggest things that I see as I look at my parents and, I stare, at my wife and look into her eyes, or I look at my children growing up, it's life is, flies by. I can't believe I'm here now talking about New Year evolution, and, it's going to be 2025. And, it's one of those things where you're like, hey, every year you got to, get up and redo it and reset and retool and repower and reintroduce and reinvent yourself. But instead of looking like a job, I think that's exciting. I think that that's something that should motivate you. It does for me. And, one of the things that I listen to every day, for me, like my morning ritual routines, and, one thing I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about is one of my best workers that I've ever had in Matt Calabria had recently had a baby, and, had little meatballs, and so proud of and happy for him and his wife, Hannah. They're moving on. They got a better work opportunity. And, at first, when you're a boss and you've been running practices for 20 plus years, it's a part of the business. But the reality is that, he was there for so many milestones and so many, bumps on the road and the journey. And, he started this podcast with me, and, so I'm so thankful for him. So Matt, if you're listening to this, I'm dedicating today to you as far as New Year's evolution is, we never want to be where we were last year. We always want to be evolving and getting better and constantly chasing new ideas, new dreams, pursuing new challenges, and constantly recreating ourselves. And I think that that's something that I always try to do, whether I'm talking to my social media team and I'm saying, hey guys, what we did last year was great, but we got to be better next year. And if we're doing the same thing, we're going backwards. It's not acceptable. If I'm talking to my practice, and we had our end of the year meeting last Thursday, and one of the things that I was fixated on was 2025 for me is about downsizing and getting back to quality. Quantity and high volume practices is not something that I would coach or consult on anymore. I think that they're less rewarding for the provider. I think they're less rewarding for the business owner. And I think the benefit to the patient attending them is also, compromised at best. So, but again, this year, first quarter 2025, just seeing how we're closing out the last couple of weeks, I'm coaching one of my young docs that was mentoring with me when he was in chiropractic school, and I'm beyond excited. So, Dr. TJ, we're going to be there on Friday. I have 5 docs around the country I'm working with right now, and I love it. I love sharing the stories. I love bringing the energy. I love getting up at 4:30 in the morning and preparing for that, because the one thing that I see is that when I see a practice reaching out and they said, can't believe how much money we made this week and how happy the patients were. Those are 2 things you want to hear, right? You have patient satisfaction, and you see doctors being compensated for what they're doing at a higher level than they've been accustomed to being paid. So to me, in the business that I'm launching, that's a winning formula. And for me, I just want to advance it. I want it to keep evolving and keep, improving. It was something that I wanted to do in 2023. And, I just think that, I was remarkably distracted in 2024. There was a lot of things going on. 2025, I think the word that I would use is relentless. Like, I'm not going to back off. I had a discussion, almost a heated discussion with one of my team members with regards to, med-ray laser and technology. And we both reflected on it and realized, I think that we want to be successful, but the intensity was based on similar personalities. But much like a team, you're going to get in a locker room and you're going to see guys grabbing face masks because everybody wants to get to the championship game and everybody wants to be a world champion. The reality is that how we communicate, how we build, and how we evolve from that pain point is going to determine the level of success. So as we close out 2024, I challenge everybody listening to this to write down 10 things that you want to do better in 2025. Don't wait till January 1st. Do it now. Do it tomorrow morning. Do it tonight. Do it before you go to bed. And one thing I did when, I was, super banged up during COVID with all the ailments was I was listening to David Goggins every day, because I was like, this is one hard motherfucker. And, if he can do this, and he puts those Post-its on the mirror, put them up there, put them in the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, put them on the shower when you're walking into the shower, put them inside your closet door, put them anywhere where you can see them every day, and remind yourself that these are things you want to do. And, for me, I've already done it. I know what I want to do. I know that I want to travel this year. I know that I want to crush it. I know that I want to create a business that is beyond successful in the consulting space, and it's already underway. And so if you're looking to change, why wait? Start now. And, for me, the transformation's underway. So we have Boost around the corner. We have a lot of things going on. So again, I'm super excited. If you found value in today's podcast, do me a favor, forward it to a friend, forward it to a loved one, forward it to your business partners, etc., and challenge them. Dig a little deeper. And again, I grow by likes and comments and all those kind of things. So if you found value in today's podcast, please do that for me. At any rate, again, happy holidays. Looking forward to a new year and evolution for you as well. Take care.